Serious Survivor here, and today I want to talk about a new series that we're going to look at on the channel, and this series is going to be called Bugging Out on a Budget. And the purpose of this series is to introduce and look at various types of gear that are all under $20. Nothing that we see in this entire series will cost more than $20 before tax. Now the reason I'm doing this video is I know that for me, realistically speaking, I can't afford the best of everything. Especially having 4 kids, when I bug out or when I build a bug out supply, kit, bag, gear, however you want to look at it, that I have to buy 5 of everything. And that can make life very expensive for when I'm purchasing gear. So I can't afford to lay down $100 to $200 per knife that I buy. I can't afford to lay down $300 or $400 for other types of items. I have to look at getting items that are reasonably priced but give me the best performance for that price. And that's the purpose of this series, is to introduce gear that will enable us to not only purchase more gear, but to have gear that we can rely on and not have to go through so much trial and error buying several different pieces of gear until you find one that really works for you. So this series is going to introduce a lot of different items, and these items are all going to be $20 or less, and hopefully this will help people find some items that they can get. I'll try to leave as many links in the descriptions as I can to provide access to these items. For the record, I don't sell any of these items, so it's not an attempt to make money from these. I'm just trying to help people find gear that we can all afford. Not everybody can afford the largest bunker in the world and a bag full of $400 and $500 per item price of gear, but a lot of us can afford to lay down 20 bucks for something that will, in the end, save our lives or make life a little easier in any type of survival situation. So for the first video, we're going to look at some knives. I'm a really big fan of survival knives, all types of knives. I love blades. So we're going to look at a few that I already have that I know for a fact are less than $20 per item and that have stood up through continuous use, so that I can recommend this gear and say that it is quality gear for the price. We don't always have to spend the top dollar for everything we buy. There is some gear, a lot of different gear that's lower price but is of almost the same quality as some of the more expensive items. So let's check out these knives and stay tuned to the end of the video for the technical specifications, all the data about everything that we talk about. Let's start by looking at these 4 items. All 4 of these knives I paid $20 or less for, that's before taxes. Now the price may vary depending on your area of the country, but these are very affordable knives. So let's look at them. Let's talk about the qualities or the characteristics that we want to see in a fixed blade knife that will make the knife durable and will last us for a long time and complete the task that we may need to complete in the wild. And what we have to remember is that in the wild, this knife is going to do a whole lot more for us than just sit here in this pouch and look good. We're going to be putting these knives to the test. They'll be used everything from weapons to skinning animals to preparing fires to anything that you need to cut with. So the importance of a good knife can't be expressed too much here. First one we're going to look at is the Camillus. Now I like this particular knife. It's a Camillus and it's a titanium bonded knife. And if we look at this knife, we can see that I've actually put a lot of hours on this knife. It's served me very well. And what I really like about this knife is the blade is titanium bonded, which means basically it has a titanium alloy bonded to the outside of the knife, and that makes the blade a little bit stronger. I've had a lot of good luck. As you can see here, it has a thinner blade, so it's going to be very sharp. Every time I sharpen it, I get a really good edge out of it, and it holds an edge for quite a while. This knife I've used quite a bit, several years I've had this, 5 years probably, and the good thing about it is the price has not fluctuated on these too much. As you can see the blade there, the price has not fluctuated too much on these, and at least where I live, these are $8.98 at your local Walmart, and online they're even cheaper in some places. Have a very durable grip. The handle, the grip is really good. It's really comfortable in your hand, and it provides a non-slip type of grip. You can hold on to it very tight. Small little hand guard there, but overall for $8.98, this is a knife that you can't go wrong with. I've talked about this knife in some of my other videos, and the main reason I talk about it is because it is an exceptional knife for the price. Now, it's not a do-it-all survival knife type. This is a smaller knife, as we can see. It's not one of the largest fixed blades that you can purchase, but overall size to weight ratio is pretty good. It's fairly well balanced. It's balanced a little more towards the handle, as we can see there. But overall, it's been a pretty good knife. And I highly recommend these, mainly because of the price and because they are small. They come with their own little sheath. And I can put this in my bag. I can put it, in a location and just keep it for when I need it. So that's one, and for the price tag, you can't beat it. The next one I want to look at is an Elk Ridge Bushcraft knife. Now, this is also a very durable knife. And as I take it out of the sheath, as this comes with that black nylon sheath, and as you can see there, the logo. As I take it out, you can see there's a lot of wear, or maybe you can't see, a lot of wear on this blade. I've used this knife for a lot of things. It's very thick. It's also a full tang, and as you can see here, it's a very thick tang going through the width of the knife. It doesn't taper down here or anything, so it's very sturdy. This knife is extremely sturdy, and it holds a blade really well. It comes out of the package extremely sharp. And it's also balanced fairly well. Its balance is near the center, as we can see there. But this knife was $19.99. So this knife I paid a little bit more for, but we'll have some links to it, or some similar to it, at the end of the video. It's going to hold up for an extremely long time. It's very durable. So this is going to be an excellent knife, and will make an excellent choice or addition to anyone's bug out kit, bug out bag, whatever you prefer to call it. The next one we're going to look at is a custom-made knife. Now, custom-made knives come in all different shapes and sizes. I got this one about 20 years ago, and it's made out of an antler, I believe deer antler, and the blade on it is a custom blade. There are no markings or indicators on it anywhere that tell me the strength of the blade. Now, this knife does hold an edge fairly decent. It's the blade, I would have to say, is the lowest quality of the three that I've seen. Now, I know that this is not a knife that we're just going to go to our local gun store and buy one exactly like this, because it was custom made. But when it comes to custom knives, unless you personally know the manufacturer, the person that made these particular knives, then you're not really sure what type of materials are going in here. But you can see as the handle is curved here, still a decent knife and a reasonable price. The fourth one we're going to look at was one I just received not long ago. My sons gave it to me as a Christmas gift, and it is a Country Breakup is the name of it. And as we unsheathe this thing, we can see this is a pretty big knife here. Now, I probably should do a review on this knife alone once I've got a little more experience with it. As you can see, Country Breakup. And it has a simulated bone handle. I don't think that's real bone. Matter of fact, I'm almost positive that it probably isn't real bone. But the knife, the blade, we can see here some of the good qualities of it is full tang all the way down. You have a really good size handguard here, and a notch cut out for your index finger. Fits really well in your hand. This is a very comfortable and a very strong knife. It feels strong, just the overall construction of it. The steel, as we can see, the steel itself seems to be really well. As thick as it is, this is a knife I can use to cut wood with. And the old put it on the wood, chop it down with another wood block on that side. I would feel comfortable doing that with this knife. It comes out of the box with a pretty decent edge. It's not the sharpest I've seen, but I've run it through a little hand sharpener I have a couple times, and it really improved the edge. The metal seems really strong. Now, I don't see any indications on the blade as of the exact strength of the metal or exactly what type, but we will look at the technical specifications here at the end. But this knife also was $19.99, and for $19.99, a knife of what I really like to say this quality is a really good deal. And this knife, if it holds up, and I'm going to do further testing on it, but if it holds up like I expect due to the strength of the metal, just how sturdy it is, then $19.95 is a steal for this. And it's really a pretty big knife, as we can see. It's not a small knife. This is a pretty big knife, long blade, and a very comfortable handle. This is a really good knife. So looking at that, some of the qualities that we look for in our fixed blade knives are things such as the tang. The full tang here, as we can see, as we talked about, this is a full tang where the metal runs the whole length of the blade, and it's just as the metal runs the whole length of the handle, I should say, and it's just as wide as my handle. That's going to give me incredible strength, and much more strength than a knife that is not full tang. That's So that's one of the qualities we look for. Another quality that we look for is the construction of the knife. how well the knife is constructed as far as what seems to be durable. Do I have the cheap little rivets holding my handle on, or do I have more of the brass pins that are going to hold it in place tighter? Is the metal strong enough to hold an edge for an extremely long time? How durable is it? Could I actually pry something even though I shouldn't be prying with my knife, but if I had to, could I do it without snapping the blade? Is it comfortable? That's another thing. Is it comfortable in my hand? And how is it balanced? Different knives are balanced different ways, and depending on what the task for that particular knife is. So this is just showing us that we can get quality gear for less than $20. So keep an eye on the channel. We're going to be introducing all different types of gear that come in handy for bugging out, for survival situations. Necessary gear that you need in your bug out kit, that we all need, gear that just makes a great addition to it. So we're going to be expanding the series and going to keep on and hopefully help some people out. I know bugging out on a budget is something I have to do, so hopefully we can help other people find some items that will assist you in building a very, very good kit, not breaking the bank while you do it. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope the video was informative, and for now, Serious Survivor, out.